Hey guys, welcome back to my channel today. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 4 more truths that the makeup community does not want you to know. These are 4 more truths. I have done this type of video in the past, and you guys really seem to like it. It was 3 truths that the makeup industry doesn't want you to know about, and we had a lot of great discussion in the comments and everything. So this is video number 2, where I talk about more truths that I feel like the industry is hiding from us. They're trying to take advantage of us at times. And as much as I know that as consumers, we have full control over our purchases and things like that, these tips and strategies definitely get us to want to buy stuff, and they really drive the want like way up when it comes to shopping for makeup. So if you haven't checked out that first video, I will link it in the description box below because there's lots of great truths in that one. But today, let's get on to 4 more truths that the makeup industry is not wanting you to know about. Truth number 1 is actually all about mascara ads. Now, this is something that I have heard so many of you guys talk about in the previous video, how advertisements for mascaras are so incredibly cheesy and crazy, and it's something that I never actually saw myself until I looked in the fine print, especially in commercials and things like that. I was seeing so many commercials where it said, P.S. the model is wearing lashes, or false lashes are on the model. And it's in like the finest font, like right at the bottom of the screen. And I mean, you're advertising for a mascara. I don't understand why the model is wearing false lashes. Like, talk about false advertising, misleading the consumer. It makes absolutely no sense to me. Think about like a eyeshadow ad where like the colors are super vibrant and things like that, and they, let's say, don't disclose that there's a primer underneath or a concealer underneath or something to actually make those shadows really pop. Like, this is something that I feel like I can't believe they get away with this. Let me know down below, have you ever seen a mascara ad with like, you know, model has false lashes on, or this is the lash she's wearing, or note these aren't her normal lashes, or something like that? I can't believe that I never noticed it beforehand, but now that's literally all I see. Now, truth number 2 is that the free shipping or minimum purchase with free shipping or free gift is a little bit of a farce. Now, hear me out, because this is something, of course, that they get you to spend more money about, like free shipping if you spend 30, 40, 50 bucks, whatever it is, and it always ends up being more than what you are after. So for instance, if you're after the, I don't know, let's say the blush, and the blush only costs $25 and you get free shipping when you spend $50, all of a sudden now you have to buy another item from them. Now, this type of tactic, I think, makes the most sense when you have an incredibly expensive shipping charge. When you see like shipping 50 bucks or something like that, I can kind of see where they're getting at with like, you know, perhaps you should get like an actual item instead of spending more money on shipping. That to me is something that sort of makes sense, but again, can be very well like overused and abused by a company. But often these companies that have the shipping cost ends up being like 10, 15 bucks. So really you're spending more money on getting another blush at $25 instead of spending like 10 to 15 on the shipping cost, if that makes sense. So often the shipping cost is not as expensive as another item, so they're just trying to draw some more sales from the consumer, of course, and in order to get that free shipping, you got to spend more money with us kind of thing. Of course, it's a great tactic to sell makeup. Now, kind of going into the same truth as well is the free gift with purchase. Now, often the free gift is something that, I'm gonna be very brash, very honest with you guys here. So I know you guys love my honesty, so I'm just not gonna hold back, but sometimes the gift is just like a tote bag or something, which, yay, I mean, thanks, but no thanks. I don't really need those. Or it's something like incredibly small, like a sample size of a product, like, you know, you get a free mini perfume with purchase and it's like 5 mils or something like that. I mean, I don't know. This, of course, is another tactic for the companies just to get you to spend more money, of course. That gift is rarely going to be worth any money. Now, there are some circumstances where this is actually true, and I feel like they're kind of the diamonds in the rough at this point. A lot of the free gifts are not really like worth the extra cost it would take to get to that free gift, if that makes sense. Like, if you're spending $100 to get a free gift, I promise you that gift is not like worth whatever that discrepancy in price was, because the brand still wants to make money. Like, hello. Where this actually sort of makes sense is actually during, I don't know if they still do this because it has been a hot second since I've shopped with Clinique before, especially through the counter or Estee Lauder. They often have those big bags of like beauty bonuses, like a beauty bonus time, and I forget what it's called, but when I was younger and I used to use Clinique, I remember getting like a spring cosmetic bag with all of these things in it. And I will say that if you are into having travel sizes of certain things, you could maybe do that every once in a while, but how often they kind of like advertise it and get you to pique your interest on a new cosmetic bag. I mean, eventually it turns into clutter. You already have the first cosmetic bag from like the spring release. You don't need every single one. Often you do have to spend way more than you ever anticipated getting that bag, and I would just really advise you guys, if the items in this bag are truly like travel size items that you're interested in trying, and the amount that it takes to get that free gift is actually money you're going to spend anyway, well, it's a perfect fit at that point. But basically, this whole truth is basically to say that if you are spending above and over what you actually need or want, you are getting duped, whether it's free shipping or free gift. You know, we just have to be smart with our purchases and realize if we only want that one blush or we only want that one skincare product, we don't need to spend $50, $100 for the free gift or free shipping, then we have to really hold strong. Now, truth number 3 is interesting, you guys. This is Sephora's point system ain't that great. Now, hear me out because I am a Rouge member. I feel like I have a lot of experience and information in this kind of little realm of knowledge, and I feel like I use my Rouge access for a bit of a different reason than what they kind of promote. So I'm gonna go on the app and make sure everything is up to date with this one, because they often talk about the tiers and, you know, what you need to spend for what, and then all the perks for Rouge. For Rouge, you get 1.5 points for every dollar spent. Now, this is something that is new in the last couple of years or so. I think it was last year they changed their whole reward system, and it used to be dollar for every point. Now for Rouge, 1.5 points per dollar. You get free standard shipping, which is a pretty good perk, I must say. You do get a birthday gift, but everybody does. You get early access to products. This is the part that I actually personally like just because I'm a creator, but if you're not a creator, you don't necessarily need to have early access. It just depends. And then it says the rewards bazaar. I'm gonna get to the rewards bazaar because yikes sometimes. And then it says, oh, Rouge gets 4 choices for a birthday gift, but so does VIB. And VIB only has to qualify at $350 for the whole year, whereas Rouge is $1,000. So again, not great for when it comes to like the difference in perks. If I'm spending like 3 times the amount of money almost, I should be getting more choices than the VIB or the middle tier. What I really want to draw with this is actually the rewards bazaar in particular. And I'm going to look at the ones that are currently offered. And this first one, okay, the 100 point perks, you guys, are so crazy wasteful of your points. Never ever use your points on these. These are essentially sample size products. You can get samples for free at Sephora. I can't stress this enough. Like sometimes it's even like only a smidge bigger than what you would get as a sample if you just walked in there. Like think about the actual conversion in points. Like just to make it simple, $1 per point. You're spending $100 on a sample little face cleanser. This one is by Philosophy, Purity Made. Purity Made Simple, sorry. Same with the newly like Rouge reward kind of thing that they put out, which is a $100 gift card. It has so many ties to it. Like you can't return the item if you use the Rouge reward, and it expires after a while. Like these are things that kind of just stink about the whole thing. So for myself as a Rouge, like I said, I like the early access stuff. That's one of my things as a creator. I like to get early access to products to, you know, review them or whatever, or talk about them. But also I let my points accumulate, and I try to go for the one-of-a-kind experiences because those are actually kind of cool. I did end up, oh my goodness, how many points did I use for this? I am so embarrassed to even share. Okay, let's just say it was like 15,000-ish points that I had accumulated since I was like 10 years old, because I didn't realize until I was in my late 20s that I had even points accumulating on a Sephora account, and I actually had 15,000 points or something like that, so don't judge. But anyways, I found a one-of-a-kind experience with Ole Henriksen, and I did convert my points to get that experience. That was really cool because it was first-class round trip to Vancouver and Whistler. We were able to go to the yoga festival out there. We got to have like a free gift from Ola Henriksen, and we got to visit their booth and stuff like that. I got to bring a friend with me. That I think is really worth it and kind of cool. But again, there's only 1 or 2 of these every once in a while. Like, these are not common occurrences that they're sending people on trips and things like that. If you look at the rewards bazaar, they do show up, but they're also getting more and more expensive as I'm seeing them, because I've seen only like a few every now and then, and they're hitting like 30, 40, 50,000 points at this point. So now they're getting even more like unreachable to access. What do you guys think of the Sephora points system? Now, I personally, like I said, I think it needs a lot of work. I think it's a bit of a farce, especially because a couple of you guys told me this the other day, and I just about like, oh my goodness. A few of you said that if you have a point of inactivity where you don't actually make a purchase from Sephora for like 3 months or something like that, they will send you a coupon for 30% off an item to kind of get you back. Like, let's talk about this for a second. Let's think about this for a second. A Rouge member who spends $1,000+ a year at Sephora only gets 20% off. That's the top tier percent discount that they get. Tell me how that's fair. Tell me how that shows that the company values their top tier members. That's another thing as well. So sound off down below. I would love to know all of your thoughts on this. But me as a Canadian, it's a little bit easier to stay loyal to Sephora because we don't have their monster competitor, which is Ulta. And that is going to be changing soon because Ulta is coming to Canada very soon as well, which I'm really excited about. Also for Canadians, one thing I did also find out recently was that Shoppers Drug Mart also has a great point system. And that's something that I need to actually do more research on, because they actually do now have a beauty boutique section in some of their stores where you have incredibly high-end brands like Guerlain and Chanel. Like, you can buy high-end stuff from Shoppers Drug Mart now, and if they have a better point system, then why am I being loyal to Sephora? Now, the last truth of the makeup industry is that they definitely think we're stupid because everybody wants a piece of the pie to get fast cash. What I mean by that is that I feel like everybody and their dog is making a makeup line right now. Let me know down below what you think of this. But to me, it makes a little bit more sense when you have, okay, like a makeup lover, like a blogger or a creator that kind of gets into their own line because they have some expertise in the field, or a makeup artist who has some expertise in the field. But when you see every single celebrity that is actually maybe a musician, let's say, by trade, now it doesn't mean that they can't like makeup too. Like, I'm trying to kind of trend on this a little bit lightly, or tread on this a little bit lightly. But I feel like this is just like the time to get into the industry, it seems. Like, Selena Gomez is rumored to have a line coming out. Sierra, same thing. Both of them are musicians. We have Lady Gaga very close to releasing, if not releasing soon, for her like collection. And Millie Bobby Brown, I think her name is, from Stranger Things. She has a skincare line. Everybody is jumping board to create their own thing. And I do want to know your thoughts on this, because to me, it just kind of seems like, you know what, there's a very clear message being drawn to these people, and that is that the industry of beauty is where you can get some pretty good cash. And who gives them that cash? We do. So just be aware of that. I do think for this truth, it's going to make much more of a difference if you're a fan of that person. Like, I know Victoria Beckham is coming out with a makeup line as well. To me, like, she's collaborated with Estee Lauder before, so I kind of get that maybe a bit more, but I also don't. Like, I'm kind of like, but she's also more of a fashion icon, but still, that one I'm kind of like, I'm so about. But her line has a very similar motif to actually her collaboration with Estee Lauder, believe it or not. Like, the same blues, the same golds and browns. That's kind of the products that she did with Estee Lauder, and her line is very similar to that. So it's almost like, what do you expect? Like, if we already bought your collaboration with Estee Lauder, you're not offering really that much more difference in your own line. So why am I spending my dollars again? You know, like, this is what I'm saying. They do think it's a fast cash market, and you know what? It is, because we're drawn to it, and it's been normalized to have a crap ton of makeup nowadays. And I'm just here to say that I'm hoping that this shifts in the future, and that we can be much more cognizant of our purchases, as well as being more thoughtful and having more curated collections instead of having basically a mini Sephora store in our bedrooms. So what do you think of these 4 makeup truths? I would love to know your thoughts, you guys. And also, if there's any truths that I have missed, please let me know down below, because I love hearing from you guys, and I also learn so much from you as well. That mascara one, I actually didn't even know until I looked really closely. And I was like, wow, that is true. How terrible. Thank you so much for watching, of course, and until my next one, guys, take care. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.
You and me, everything that we've been through has made us strong. You won't believe we've had our gray, but somewhere there's a light inside of us. It shows the way.